I wasn't gonna make a video today, but you made me do it once again. I know it's a little bit of a contentious time. Now we're like approaching and starting to realize there's maybe a tier 0 format and maybe the tier 0 deck is $1,200. And some people are posting Banlist predictions, and I really can't understand why. I've been going on Twitter regularly, and yesterday people were like, yeah, Banlist predictions. There's been one tournament in the Phantom Nightmare format. There's been one single tournament. How are people already calling for the banning of cards that have been released for like 2 weeks? So in this video, I want to discuss those takes and their Banlist predictions, tell you what I think about giving out Banlist predictions now, and also show you why banning some of these cards that you think should be banned will not actually do anything. So the first point I want to address is, why would Konami even think of hitting cards that have just been released? We are one tournament into the format, literally one. YCS Costa Rica, Undisputed UDS does not count. It's not an official sanctioned tournament, I guess. And the cards are selling the current set. The original Sinful Spoils, Snake Eye, the Diabellstar engine, the Fire King stuff, the Snake Eye stuff, they are actively selling Phantom Nightmare, which is currently in rotation and being still printed and might even get an unlimited edition if the demand is high enough. So why would Konami start hitting cards that are actively making them money? But more than that, they're making them money for the future because the Diabellstar and Snake Eye lore is evolving, and we have seen that already with confirmed cards from Legacy of Destruction that work with the Snake Eye cards. How are we talking about a ban list prediction or calling for any cards to be banned when no one has a real understanding of what the format actually looks like? I would say that even the Vegas YCS is not an indication. We need to look at a regional season, and we also need to look at an individual YCS. I think a team YCS is a bit biased, but I guess let's at least wait and see a couple of tournaments in before we start calling for the banning of cards. So I do want to show some of the predictions that people have posted, and afterwards I want to talk about why banning the original Sinful Spoil Snake Eye doesn't do what you think it does, and also give out some of my thoughts for what will happen if some cards will get hit. So let's start off with Kevin here, who's actually giving probably one of the takes that makes the most sense because he's not hitting the Snake Eye stuff. Linkaribo banned. This doesn't do what you think it does, even though I thought about that as well. It makes sense, it's generic Link 1, but just go into Anima. It doesn't matter. This card doesn't do anything for the end board. Other than that, hitting Snake Eye's Ash to 1, I think down the line makes sense. This Snake Eye's Ash is Fenrir, basically. Snake Eye's Ash is exactly Fenrir. Now, this take calls for the banning of the original Sinful Spoils, and this is mainly what I'm going to talk about in this video. I think it is a ridiculous hit to even think about at this point, but in general, it's a ridiculous hit to even consider even down the line because it doesn't do anything to the deck. The pure Snake Eyes variant doesn't even need to activate this card in order to play its engine. And I've been seeing Sanctifier a lot. I don't understand why people are afraid of Sanctifier. Ban Gimmick Puppet Nightmare. This is what they should have done 2 formats ago. Leave Sanctifier alone. The effect makes sense. You want to fusion summon with Albaz as a quick effect. We have Sanctifier and Sinful Spoils again. And we have Sanctifier and Sinful Spoils again. Beatrice, I've been calling for that. Shifter is great. Anti-Spell is great. Heatwave, that's a pretty good shout. Check out the meta forecast to learn more why Heatwave is important to be banned. And we have another Sinful Spoils and Sanctifier. People just lack the understanding of what it actually takes to fix something. But moreover, you don't need to fix something that is not broken. So in order to show you what banning the original Sinful Spoils does, I made a mock build of Snake Eyes following the Legacy of Destruction format. So that means we have new cards, and one of them is Snake Eye Diabellstar. So what you would do, and normally in the combo, you don't really go for original anyway most of the time, unless you have access to Diabellstar. But let's start off the combo normally as we do. Again, limiting Ash is fine, but when you have Bonfire 3, I don't think it does that much. We're going to add Poplar, and we're going to activate the effect of Poplar here. And Poplar is going to grab us a Snake Eye card, and that is going to be Dramatic Chase. Right? So we're going to be linking off, activating Poplar to place itself, and now we are going to send Ash and Poplar. In this case, we're going to summon Oak from the hand because we drew it, and then we're going to summon back the Ash. Now, Dramatic Snake Eyes Chase places a Diabellstar monster from the deck or graveyard, also from the hand, in the spell and trap zone. And during the end phase, if it's in the graveyard, you can banish it, special summon a monster that is treated as a spell and trap. So, Diabellstar, what does it do? This is a new Legacy of Destruction card. It's a spellcaster level 8 and it's a fire as well. Got a weird attack declaration effect, but if it's treated as a continuous spell, you can target one fire in your graveyard, place that in its owner's spell and trap, and then special summon this card. So essentially, you summon it, place the Poplar in the spell and trap zone, you activate Oak here. It's just insane free extender. And you're already plus on the combo if you would have activated original Sinful Spoils. You're already going plus off of that. So just to make sure we're all in the clear here, what it mainly does is prevent you from going into the Fire King stuff. However, just play more Fire King stuff and I think you will be fine. So lastly, I want to talk about 4 cards and 4 possible hits that could happen. Not that I'm saying it should happen, but what are the implications of hitting each one of them? So I think we can get a better understanding of what every hit actually causes, because I think people are just throwing OG on the wall to make sure it sticks because they see it as the problem card, while in fact, it is definitely not the problem card at all. The first one is Flamebird Dragon. I think it is the most powerful card from the Snake Eye archetype for sure. Even though Ash is a pure +1, Snake Eye's Flamebird is also a +1, but it's also an interruption, it's also an endboard piece. And this is why I think banning it down the line, I could see it happening just because of the amount of advantage it offers. And I also want to compare it directly to Promethean Princess Bestower of Flames, because Princess is the poster child of 2024. It is what runs Fire Strategies, and Konami is really focusing their efforts in putting a lot of work into Fire Strategies. So even though she is definitely 100% the problem card, because it's a very, very powerful, overly powerful generic card that offers way too much advantage, it's not going to get hit. And now the Flamebird Dragon, that's also a question because Snake Eyes are continuing to get support. So you might limit the Flamebird Dragon, or you might ban it eventually down the line. But I think neither of these cards are a worth hit for Konami. There's no real reason. One more thing is Wanted, Seeker of Sinful Spoils. I've heard a lot of people saying, hey, limit Wanted. I mean, it does allow you to play a little bit in the draw phase, but if you think about it, the lines you go to are not really playing into Droll at all, because Diabellstar doesn't play into Droll. Ash plays into Droll, but Wanted doesn't help you to play around that at all. So people are calling for the banning of OG and then limiting Wanted. What does Diabellstar even do without original Sinful Spoil? What would you set that is of value? It doesn't really make sense. And you just play 3 Diabellstar and 1 Wanted. You need to discard some cards. You play Dramatic Chase, and that's basically it. Now the last card, which I think is my realistic take of what needs to happen right now, if something does happen, is banning Worldseed Dragon Zelantis. People are saying, hey, that's not the problem card. True, it's not the problem card, but Worldseed Dragon Zelantis has had a target on its back since its release because of its ability to manipulate the entire field to your liking, already coming in with a huge body, and now combining it with the Raging Phoenix and the Promethean Princess, the fact that you can OTK your opponent with one card is more problematic than the control aspect of the deck. Because if you take away Zelantis currently from the deck, maybe down the line you hit some Snake Eye cards, maybe that will happen, but right now, try to think about what's the most realistic way to hit some of the toxicity of the deck is just dying in one turn if you don't put up 5 interruptions. If you look at Andres Torres' match, he ended on 5 monsters on the board in a branded deck, and he died because his opponent drew the 1-card combo. He was OTK'd with 5 monsters on board. That's absurd. So I think Zelantis is the one to go pretty soon. Let me know what you guys think about this. What are your predictions? Should there even be a ban list in the next 2 months? We are just a month and a half after a ban list. It's unreasonable, I think. But leave it down in the comments below, and also follow me on Twitter if you want to give your thoughts over there as well. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.